Okay. Here I come. Walking like an old lady.
Old lady day.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Okay, well, I guess we can just start because we're also using this recording for the podcast. Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Oh,
you got the one I had last week.
I do.
The mic.
It's not my favorite. Hold
it
on.
twists. It turns. It does it all.
Let me just get it. Okay.
Sure. Don't mind the heavy breathing. It's my dog.
Yeah, we like it. Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready. Hi. Wait.
Okay, ready. I'll do. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Sip,
Survive,
and Repeat.
And we didn't even plan that. We're missing Kenny.
Kenny's not here. Kenny. This plan is now Kenny. So.
Kenny, how are you?
Oh, good. Thanks for asking, guys. Oh my God, we are such dorks.
And we're not even drinking alcohol.
No. It's middle of the day recording, and we both do have jobs that we have to be.
Unfortunately, yes.
A little sober for, like a little.
I also have a facial later tonight, and I feel like every time I go there, which is probably more than I should, it's always after we record, and I always smell like wine. She probably thinks I have a problem. Maybe I do.
Well, now you'll smell like tea.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I would like to say that this is their new vanilla sweet cream cold brew. And it is
Starbucks she's talking about.
Yeah, it's all kinds of delicious.
It looks scrumptious.
I mean, it's got a lot of calories for a coffee drink, but
you're gonna do you.
Yeah, we just were discussing that. Because Denel started a new thing.
Of course. It's called the Whole Life Challenge. Mm-hmm. And it's basically like a whole mind, body, soul 42-day thing. And I love it. I've done it before. This is like my 4th time doing it.
Okay.
And you do you're supposed to stretch every day for 10 minutes. You exercise for 10 minutes every day. That could be like a walk. And then there's certain like rules with food, but it's all about like resetting your body and like I can eat who cares, but it's a whole thing. It's great. I like it. I'm on like day 10 right now. And
my new thing is I'm just gonna like myself,
which is even better. I wish I could get there.
I don't know. I'm not there, but that's my goal, is to try really hard. Because I think the more I like myself, the more I'll want to just like do healthy stuff because I like myself.
That's a different way to think about it too. And probably a very smart way to think about it.
You know, I feel like very restricted by like having like rules.
Mm-hmm. I love rules.
I hate them.
I know. I love a game and I love a rule.
Right.
And I'm going to follow it. I'm going to do it.
Like I'm still trying to definitely eat healthier in general. But again, I think there was such a calm when I decided this like 2 nights ago that I was like,
And tell them what you're cutting back on wine, but tell them what you're drinking instead, because maybe someone else wants to try it.
Yes. So I started drinking kombucha, which if you haven't had it before, I tried it years ago, like probably 3 or 4 years ago, because my friend Kristen was really into it.
Mm-hmm. Super good for you.
Yes. So it's fermented tea, and it can be black tea or green tea that's fermented, and it has like, good bacteria and stuff in it. And sometimes they call it mushroom tea because when they make it, the bacteria forms like almost a mushroom cloud on the top. Delicious. And when I tried it a few years ago, I was like, this is absolutely disgusting. Why would anyone drink this? But because I'm trying to cut back on wine, just like during the week, on weeknights, whatever. I was like, but I need something to pour in a wine glass and feel
like you're drinking.
Like I'm drinking something fun.
There is like an essence. There's a calmness when it comes to wine. Like drinking it sitting down, like.
Yeah, like I put Declan to bed and then I sit on the couch and I have a glass.
It's like a little reward at the end of the night.
Yeah, and there are still some nights that I have a glass of wine. Like don't. This is Sip Survivor.
People, everybody calm down.
Yeah. But
Don't add us.
I was just like trying to think of something I could do that would be fun. And actually, did you know kombucha has a very slight amount of alcohol in it because it's fermented?
I did know that. In fact, in that whole life challenge thing I'm doing, you're only allowed 1 glass of wine a day, at least for the level I'm doing, because I did the easiest level. And it's listed on there as compliant because it's still healthy. And even though it has alcohol in it.
So. Nice. Yeah, it's a very small amount. Yeah. But anyway, so I got a couple ones, and my favorite one so far, I did try both the ones that I got. They're both from Trader Joe's, not shocking because I live above it. But the one is Health Aid. And
I've never tried that brand.
The one I tried, well, it doesn't have as much of that goo on the bottom.
Okay.
At least
that creeped me out.
At least the bottle is too dark for me to tell that there's goo on the bottom, and I pour it in a glass. So that kind of like, if there is goo, it gets mixed in.
Yeah.
That's the mushroom you guys were talking about. And the Pink Lady.
You liked.
Yeah. It's like apple flavored.
I'm going to try that one.
And then I also got their fruit punch, which is like pineapple, orange, mango. And I tried that today with lunch, and it was really good.
Okay.
So I just wanted to like try it a little sippy. So I'm saving the rest for later. But anyway, and then I liked it so much that I now ordered a case of that Pink Lady. And I also ordered, oh, hi Mo. And I ordered a case of, they had a grape one that I thought, I'm like, oh, grapes, wine.
Natural fat.
You guys.
Kelly's getting jealous. I'm sorry, boo.
Oh, Momo's here though. I like how you can just see Mo's tail.
I know.
Like a little tick, 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 tick. Okay. So should we talk about survival stories?
Let's do it.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Of course I do. But is that annoying? Like, if you want to go first, go.
I don't give a shit.
Okay. Notice, Jenny, I don't see any notes in front of you.
No, I have notes on my phone. Okay. But
I've got a computer and a notepad. This is the story I worked on like 2 weeks ago, and just I didn't want to do it. Like, I just wasn't in the mood to do it. And I was kind of rushing around this week so far. Right. So I was like, oh, I have that backup story. I do have another one in the can for next week that I'm whatever. Okay. So this is a survival story of, I don't want to mess up her name.
I just had like a panic attack that we aren't actually recording any of this.
Oh my God, what if we're not? Can you hear us out there? Just kidding.
I think we're good. Okay. Oh my God, if we're not, this is going to be like the most annoying thing ever. Okay, ready? Go. Okay.
We'll just hope for the best. Yeah. Kenny's not here, so.
We don't know what we're doing.
Who needs Kenny? We do. Her name is Manu Toigo.
Okay.
So I'm just going to call her by her first name, Manu. And I like triple check that because I hate when I mispronounce things, and I always mispronounce things. So
let's be honest, people mispronounce your name on a regular basis.
Right. So I get a free pass to mispronounce everything. So Manu was born in Queensland in Australia, which is like the northeastern part of Australia. And she lived on a farm with her parents. And my computer's not scrolling, which is wonderful. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So growing up on a farm, she was forced to encounter dangerous wildlife, including several of the world's top 10 deadliest snakes.
No, thank you.
Wild dingoes.
A dingo stole my baby.
Did you watch or listen to the My Favorite Murder episode of that one? I cleared it up. I didn't know that was the story behind it.
Yes.
Poisonous spiders, kangaroos, boars, and saltwater crocodiles.
I feel like kangaroos always shock me because they look a little
so cute.
They look a little goofy. But they'll beat the shit out of you.
They'll step on you, or
they'll kick you. They'll go back on their tail or whatever.
I just have one.
Okay.
But it won't happen.
In a wildlife preserve where they've been tamed, perhaps.
No, not even that. I don't think they want you to touch it. So not only were the animals extreme where she grew up, but the climate was extreme. And at an early age, she learned how to use the resources from the land, like use sugarcane for hydration, which I did look that up as to how you do that, and I couldn't find it online, so I'm not really sure how that works.
Okay.
And then coconut water for hydration and stuff like that.
Sure.
Among many experiences on the farm, two experiences in particular taught her great survival skills. And I'm going somewhere with this, so I'm not just telling you her life story for no reason. So the first incident happened when she was 9, and she was feeding the chickens late in the evening on her farm and she stepped on something, and it was a coral snake, which has the second deadliest venom of all the snakes in the world.
Is the other one the inland taipan?
No, the other one is the black mamba.
Yeah, black mamba.
Mamba.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. But the coral snake, the way it injects its venom, it's still very, very poisonous, but it's not as like, it takes longer to get into your body. I think you have like 72 hours or something. Anyway, she steps on the snake. She realizes right away, this is not the survival story, but she realizes right away that she stepped on its head. So she knew not to move her foot.
Oh, yeah.
So she stayed in place and yelled for her father. And then finally he came and they were able to like get her off the snake and kill it. Because if she would have moved her foot, it would have bit her. So she lived. The other incident happened when she was 11 and she was kayaking.
No, don't kayak. What the fuck?
In salt water. And there was a saltwater crocodile that attacked her kayak and essentially tipped it over. And her dog was with her in the kayak and ate her dog. And she survived. She swam to shore and she said if her dog wasn't with her and sacrificed its life, she probably would have died. So basically she's a badass. Like she's been in some terrible circumstances and she knows her way around survival things.
Okay. She sounds,
She's very cool. So at age 17, she joined the Australian Army and she served.
Australia has an army.
Australia has an army and she served duty in places. I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm sure they help like in other countries.
Do you ever wonder if they have all the like branches? Like in the US, we have like all these branches. And I always wonder if other countries, if it's just like an army and that's it, or if they have like the Air Force, the Navy, the whatever.
The military.
The
Marine. I meant the Marines.
Yes, the Marines. I just always wonder that if other countries have like separate ones or if it's all just under one title.
Yeah, if someone knows, let us know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know we have some listeners in Australia, so if you can let us know what your army consists of. I would guess they
have a navy. I mean,
they're surrounded by water. So
yeah, I would hope.
Maybe they don't call it a navy. Yeah. Maybe they just call them seamen. Okay.
So she served 8 years and she then had an injury. So she was, what's it called?
Honorably discharged.
And she decided, you know what? I want to move to Seattle. So in 1998, that's what she did. She moves to Seattle. She came upon some hard times and she was homeless for a while, but she got back on her feet and made enough money to pay for herself to go to college and graduate college. And here we are in 2013.
Oh, Mom, you got so much hair coming on here.
Oh, and you're allergic. Sorry. I did just brush it. A big fur ball just went. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't
Quit touching your cat.
I know. I'm just like scratching him over here. And Jenny's like, can you not do that? So in 2013, she decided to join this show called Naked and Afraid, which
stop.
I love the show.
Do you? I only watched a few episodes.
It's so good.
It makes me very uncomfortable.
Why?
Because they're naked and afraid.
Scared. So if you don't watch the show, they're on like season 26 now, but she was featured on season 1, episode 8. If you want to check out her.
Okay.
Because I just watched it again before this. And essentially what it is, it's on Discovery and it's a show where they take 2 people, a man and a woman. Mm-hmm. They plop them down in a remote location. Like hers was in the Panama jungle, which is apparently the most like dangerous and deadly jungle.
Perfect.
Yeah, great. And they get one like tool they can bring with them, like a fire starter or a machete or whatever it is they want to bring with them. And they have to survive for 21 days, like no food. Well, they have to find their own food, find a water source, figure the shit out.
And they don't have any clothes on.
And they have no clothes on.
Not even underwear?
Not even underwear. So imagine the things that crawl up in your hoo-ha.
No thanks.
Oh.
No, thank you.
I love
Side note on hoo-has.
Yeah.
Declan asked me nonstop recently about where babies come out of.
Oh. And
he said that, do you poop them out of your butt? And I said, no. I said, ladies have a special baby hole.
Oh,
that's what I called it.
Answer, a baby hole.
So if anyone needs to use that, just call it a baby hole.
If you need more parenting advice, just ask Jenny.
Just at me.
Baby hole.
It's a baby hole. It's where the baby comes out.
Did he accept that response?
Yes.
He was like, oh, okay.
He's like, oh, you have an extra hole? I'm like, yeah, it's a baby hole. That's where the baby comes out of.
And then he just moved on.
And then he moved on.
Great.
I was like,
No more questions. I'm glad
We didn't get into the how the baby is made, and
that'll be
the
next, and
tummy.
hopefully that's not for a while. So let's see. So her location when she signed up for the show, like I said, she has been into survival her whole life. She comes from a background where she knows her way around, different climates and temperatures and all these things. The Outback. And so she was like, I want to do this show. And she was also featured on some other survival show that didn't make it to mainstream, but this is like her thing. So her and her partner were dropped in the middle of the Panama jungle. And
this partner is not a partner, it's a stranger.
It's a stranger. She doesn't know him.
Stranger danger.
Yeah, and you're just naked. That would be a little.
I mean, the good news is there's got to be camera people there. So at least you're not alone.
True. There are. She did say in like a past interview that like the crew is there, but they're limited and they try to stay far away. So you are on your own, but if there's an emergency, you're gonna tap out and get them.
Well, I was just more thinking like men are kind of rapey sometimes.
I did watch an interview with her, and the guy interviewing her, I forget the name of the YouTube channel, but he was such a fucking creep. Like I was just like, I couldn't even. I'm like, I can't even. He kept talking about how hot she was. I'm like, I cannot. You're just a creeper anyway.
Yeah, and I'm not saying all men, but
no, of course not. Some women.
You know who you are.
We're
watching you.
We're watching you. You're watching us.
Technically, they're watching us.
Yeah. So the Panama jungle, it's very jungly. It has a lot of snakes, spiders, loud monkeys. They're called. Hold on. Oh my God, who could read this? Like, are you kidding me?
Serial killer. You wrote them.
Look at this. Okay. Oh, howling monkeys, really? And they're so loud and they're very aggressive, especially during mating season.
Do you think when they say aggressive, they mean throwing their own shit?
They mean peeing on you, throwing your shit. They mean they can rip your face off. If you're in their territory, they don't fuck around.
Ooh, I just watched a movie where someone got their face ripped off.
That happened to a lady didn't she get a face transplant in Cleveland?
Yeah, the first face transplant happened
from a monkey. Didn't a monkey rip her face off?
Yes, a monkey did rip her face off.
Maybe it was a howling monkey.
No, it was a chimpanzee.
Oh. Okay. Well, it rains. It rains a lot. It's cold. It's hot. It's cold at night, hot during the day. It's just a terrible place to stay for 21 days. There's like it's hard to catch food. Every episode, if you watch, they make a freaking fish basket. They never catch any fish in it. It's a whole thing. They went almost the whole 20 days without eating. One day it rained so hard, hermit crabs emerged. They cooked the hermit crabs. The final day they caught, I'm just summarizing it. The final day they caught lobster, 2 lobsters and a fish. So they did get to eat. On the last day of the show, they had to build a raft, and then they had to raft 4 miles to another island. Mm-mm. And mind you, they hadn't really eaten in 21 days. And then they had to, while they were rafting, there was like a swarm of jellyfish that they had to go through. They're naked, so they're getting stung. And also white-tipped sharks, which are very aggressive.
They never wanted to come up with any kind of clothing situation?
No.
Okay.
There's not really a lot you could do.
I would want to try and cover my hoo-ha.
I would too. That'd be the first thing I did.
I'd be like,
I wouldn't care about.
I don't care about my boobs. They're fine.
I would just want nothing to crawl up in there or around there. Or the bite, the mosquitoes and the bug. It's just bad. It's awful. She said it was one of the hardest things she's ever done. She did make it through. And the thorns when they're walking through the jungle are like inches thick. Like it's crazy. So she makes that out of this 21-day challenge. She returns to LA where she lives at the time. And this is where the actual survival story comes in. So she starts to get really sick. And, oh shit, what did I do? Okay. Picture of a large pig just popped up on my screen when I did that. It's weird. Okay.
Oink, oink.
Who knows what I've been looking up? Okay. So she has, a headache between her eyes, and the headache progresses to a fever. Mm-hmm. And she starts to get really bad nosebleeds and gum bleeding, and to the point where she couldn't even stand up.
Is there something living in her sinuses?
No, but that'd make for a much better story.
Oh. Okay.
Let's pretend like that's what happened.
The end.
So she goes to the hospital after 3 days, and she also lost 16 pounds during the challenge. She's like, she's just like skinny and gross.
Emaciated.
She's skinny, she's gross, she's just like whatever. So she goes to the hospital and they're just like, you're fine, you're anemic.
I'm anemic.
They send her back home.
That's why I'm tired all the time.
They said I wasn't anemic, but I'm freaking tired all the time. I feel like their results were incorrect.
Every time I get my blood test, they're like, did you know you're anemic? I'm like, yeah.
What do you take for that? Like
You're supposed to take iron supplements, but they make me get all constipated, so I don't take them.
Oh.
I'd rather shit and be tired
than be
not
constipated.
shit.
I could see why you would do that.
I'm like freezing.
I have a blanket. Everybody, here's the blanket.
She is cocooned over here.
I'm cocooned.
I'm the one in charge of all the stuff.
My geisha outfit. It's 72 in here.
I don't know.
You'll start sweating when you're
well, I got my second shot on Tuesday, and I think I'm still like a little remnant, like chills and stuff.
That's what it is. It's got to be.
Because there's no way I'm.
It is cold here. We have the sunroom open too. So
okay.
I think
no, it's perfect.
I find there to be a chill in the air. Anyway, so they send her home, and she gets worse. She has to go back to the hospital, and it turns out that she was bitten by a bad mosquito, and
a naughty mosquito
that gave her dengue fever. I'm pronouncing it dengue because that's how they pronounced it online.
Sure, yeah.
And she has there's 4 different kinds of it, and she has the worst kind. And it's all from a fucking mosquito bite from this Panama jungle.
Are you going to tell us what this disease is?
First off, the video of her when she was sick is what?
Oh, I thought she was going to make a bust through the gate.
She's so afraid of the baby gate. She might though. She's pretty jealous of Mo right now.
I like that Mo's just teasing.
He's like, I'm getting petted and you're not. So basically, the version she has is it's a virus, and it's transmitted through mosquitoes, and it causes paralysis. It's deadly if you don't catch it.
Okay.
They said maybe one more day she probably would have died from it. That's how like intense it was. But the version she has reaches to her blood vessels where they start hemorrhaging internally.
Oh.
And
is she gonna start bleeding out all her orifices?
No, but she was like it was bad. It was really bad. In fact, essentially what happens is a mosquito bites you, gets the virus in you, and you just have like cramping, headaches. And some of the symptoms can be confused for other things too. And then eventually like paralysis, and eventually your organs shut down and you die. So she got to the hospital just in time, and they pumped her with fluids and plasma. I feel like if they're putting plasma in you, it's bad news.
Yeah, agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
She was able to make recovery somehow. She spent 2 weeks in the hospital, and then it was months of physical therapy. She said she had to learn how to walk again. It messes with some of your brain function. So like she had to learn how to like read like certain things again, and like her memory loss was really bad. It like jacked up. So she had physical therapy they said it could take her years to regain strength and get back to normal. But she did, because she's a badass. And
I like how you just did this, but she did,
because she's a badass. I want to make sure the camera, I didn't want to go out here.
Yeah, you got to get it on camera.
But in 2019, this was in 2013. In 2019, she decides to go back for another episode of Naked and Afraid with 14 other. It was like a big reunion Naked and Afraid episode. Okay. But it's still like, I think it was like a 40 days. They do 40 days in like some remote area, whatever. She only made it 7 days because she found out her brother was going to start receiving treatments for jaw cancer. And she wanted to be there for him. So she tapped out at 7 days. And currently right now she runs a wilderness camp in California, and her goal is to educate the youth about environmental causes and how to respect the environment. Like when she was in the Panama jungle, she was very respectful of the resources, and one of the other characters there like killed an anteater, and then he couldn't make a fire to eat it, and she just found that very like disrespectful to the earth because he just killed something for no reason. Not that he knew that, but she tries to teach like respecting the earth and different tactics on like how to make a fort and light fire and fish and all these other things. So she also, she released a song called Plastic Solution, and 100% of the song profits go for efforts fighting against plastic pollution. So she's done a lot of good. She's still like out there working, and again, she said it took her a couple of years to recover from this terrible virus that she got while she was in the Panama jungle.
I mean,
so basically her whole life is a survival story.
Yeah.
And her character I saw this a lot. I watched this episode a long time ago and she always stuck out to me because she was just like, she never complained during the episode. She was just she was just a badass. So,
well, I just have to say, when you said that she has this wilderness camp thing, I immediately thought of Wilderness Girls. And I don't know if you're familiar with Troop Beverly Hills.
I am, but it's been like,
they're Wilderness Girls.
Are they? Maybe I'm not familiar with it.
Beverly Hills, what a thrill. Beverly Hills, what a thrill.
I don't know this at all. What year did this come out?
It was the 80s.
Oh,
maybe the early 90s.
Like the Beverly Hillbillies?
No. The Beverly Hills, it's called Troop Beverly Hills.
Oh. Okay, I'll have to look into that. Did you watch Shawshank Redemption yet?
No.
Okay.
Hold on.
I didn't watch The Secret either.
Wait, hold on. Fuck. Okay, well then we both owe each other a movie watch.
Yeah.
Hold on. And then I'll do my story, I swear.
So that's the story of Manu Toigo, who's a badass from Australia. So that was season 1, episode 8 of Naked and Afraid, if you want to check her out. I never have seen that. Troop Beverly Hills, don't know. Don't know it, need to watch it.
You do. It was a
So
staple.
It's 80s?
Maybe early 90s.
Oh, I would be into that. Is it like Camp Wana, we hold you in our hearts?
Salute your shorts? No. But it looks like I might be getting tacos for dinner.
Oh, from Condado?
Yes. My friend's coming over with her puppy.
Oh.
Hobbs. Okay. Hold on, I gotta open my notes app again.
Tell me a story.
I'm about to tell you a story. I don't know where to put this.
I needed a break from a true crimey one.
I took my break last week.
Yeah,
so.
You took a break last week. I did 2 in a row, so that's why I wanted to
do
do
like
story.
2 or 3 in a row. All right, so mine is a true crimey one, but it's not like. I feel like a lot of times the true crime ones end up being like a woman getting kidnapped and raped. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I mean, this was an interesting one because it's a child who survives. And okay, so this is from the show Unbreakable Survivors. Rewind. Unbreakable Survivors Speak.
Okay.
It's on
so no charisma.
No charisma carpenter this week. I found this for free. And it's on ID, Investigation Discovery, or as they like to say it, Investigation Discovery. Or I think they just say investigate. I don't remember what they say.
I think they say just investigate.
But. Investigate. And then they show the ID.
And then I just keep hearing the Forensic Files.
We watched Forensic Files after we went to that My Favorite Murder live show.
We did. Oh my God. Jenny and I went to the My Favorite Murder live show.
This was years ago. This is 2019.
Yeah. And then we went back to the hotel room and just.
It might have been 2018.
I think it was 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in 18. And instead of like going to the bar and drinking or whatever, didn't we order wine or something? And we just laid in bed and watched Forensic Files.
We ordered champagne because we were like, we fancy. So we ordered pizza, champagne, and something.
And we pigged
French fries.
Yep. And a burger. Did we get a burger too? We ate in bed and then
we ate in bed and watched Forensic Files and drank champagne.
It was so Todd and I are going on vacation next week.
Yeah.
And we're taking the dog. So a lot of times going to be like hanging out with the dog probably, but that's really what I envision my vacation to be. And he loves Dateline too. So can we just watch Dateline and drink in bed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So this story is about Larry Bobish Jr.
Okay.
And I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I mean, Larry, yes. Bobish.
I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing Larry.
Is it Larry or Larry?
Could be Larry.
Okay. But he goes by LJ. So exciting news.
Great. Great for you.
Because he's a junior. His dad was Larry Sr. He was Larry Jr. So he went by LJ.
Is that how that works? Thanks. Just kidding.
I didn't know that was just a Midwest thing. I have like tons of cousins that are like.
Really? Is it a Midwest thing?
I don't know. I have a lot of cousins that are like DJs and like that sort of thing.
TJs and DJs.
TJs, DJs. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, my claw's falling out.
Uh-oh. I heard claws are making a comeback. No, I heard
1990.
No, I heard they're making a comeback. Like that Gigi Hadid or whatever.
Oh.
Hadid? No. Gigi Hadid and
Oh my gosh, it's my
maybe Kendall Jenner. I don't know. They're all wearing the clips now.
That's not why I'm wearing it. I'm wearing
No,
it
of
because my
course not.
hair is terrifying underneath this clip.
I don't have any hair, so.
I know.
All right. So
I mean,
at the time of this story, it's 2002, and LJ is 12 years old. He has one sister, and his parents are still together, and he has kind of like one of those picturesque childhoods where his dad was a mechanic and he worked really hard, and so the kids never wanted for anything. So they they had like trampolines and scooters and like all that fun stuff.
like toys.
Yeah.
Things my mom would be like, go play outside until the street lights come on.
Correct.
My mom was a good mom. I'm just teasing. But she would say
That's
that.
just how life was.
Do your chores first.
That was how life was.
Yeah.
Okay. So the dad had to give up being a mechanic though, because he ended up with diabetes and bad knees. And so in order to do the work of a mechanic, that's not really gonna be.
Yeah, you need your knees.
You need your knees,
and
being a diabetic a lot of times comes with a lot of health issues that can prevent you. Like you can actually use that as to get like, what's that called?
Long-term disability?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm. So his dad started to deal drugs. I
mean, I'm not against it. What kind?
It didn't really get into details, but I think
Breaking Bad.
It's basically that's exactly what it feels like when I was watching this and reading the articles. It's very Breaking Bad. So he starts stealing drugs. I think they were like some of his pain meds for some of his like problems. So it was more like I think pharmaceutical drug dealing. But that's
healthcare wasn't so effing expensive.
Yes, America, get it together. So basically he starts dealing drugs to make ends meet. Okay. And obviously the kids like really didn't know that was happening. They just knew that their dad was spending a lot of time out in the garage because that was where he was dealing drugs.
Oh,
okay. Okay. So unfortunately, his sister, who was a little bit older than him, she was a teenager, she starts hanging out with this guy, Mark Edwards. And Mark Edwards is kind of bad news. He's in on the drug scene and he gets the sister, and they never say her name, to start taking the drug wet.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
Exactly, because we are nerdy.
Because I've done marijuana.
I've had the marijuana.
And that's it.
Also true. Or I've had some pharmaceutical drugs, but only because the doctor prescribed them.
I do think so when we went to Seattle years ago, we ordered this is before marijuana was legal. We ordered like a brownie off of some random person. We didn't order it. We bought a wee brownie, and I have never been so stoned in my life. I was like hallucinate, like it was laced, like something else was in it. It was a terrible experience. So I'll drink wine.
Yeah.
It's not for me. It's just not my jam.
I'll just drink kombucha.
Yeah.
Okay. So this drug called wet is a cigarette that they dip in PCP and embalming fluid.
What? Why?
Don't know.
Who?
The sister.
What was he like? Here, try my Camel Light.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure it wasn't a light.
And I just love that it's called wet. Like that's just the name of it. Hey, you want to try some wet? No. Sure. You might as well just fucking call it moist. Let's do some moist. You sick ass. Gross. I was kind of on board with the PCP until we got to the embalming fluid.
Wait, but why were we on board with the PCP?
Because at least I know PCP is like a drug, but you shouldn't, unless you're dead, embalming fluid shouldn't be like on your lippies.
Like a topper.
No. Ew.
It should be a sprinkle.
I mean, you shouldn't do PCP either because it's like, I don't know. It's not at all regulated.
Like crack, isn't it?
I have absolutely no idea. Okay. So then, of course, the sister gets pregnant at 17 with a baby boy. And the dad, Larry Sr., is like starting to freak out because he's already like not doing super great. He's selling drugs to support his family. So now he decides he needs to sell more drugs and get into like harder stuff to like make more money because now there's going to be a baby that he needs to support. And I'm like,
And she's on drugs.
well, yeah, but I don't know how much the dad is aware of all that because he's so busy trying to sell his own drugs so that he can support his
family in this situation.
Hanging out. I don't know. Okay. They don't talk about her a lot.
Okay. Maybe she's not in the picture.
No, she's there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she's for sure there.
Maybe she's working at like
Maybe,
something.
Yeah. Maybe she's got like another job going on. Fuck. Hold on. Sorry. Okay.
Wait, what? Sorry. What year is this again?
2002.
Okay.
So she's definitely not at Woolworths.
That's why I was asking. My reference was still in the 80s.
Yeah. So this kid was born in 1990.
Okay.
See, I did math on a Kenny.
Good for you. We don't need you, Kenny.
Just kidding.
Kenny.
We have no idea what we're doing. We don't even know if this is recording.
We don't even know this is recording.
Okay. Let's see. Oh my God. You know what? It's not recording.
Shut up.
I forgot to hook it up to this microphone. It's recording on this one. It's going to sound like shit though.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Is this recording?
Yeah. Should I find the microphone there?
I don't know. Do you think it's going to sound terrible? Let's finish and then see how it sounds.
We're going to finish and see how it sounds.
This is what really happens behind the scenes.
And Kenny's not here to fix it.
Kenny, we need you.
Or set it up. So these microphones are just for show. I'll keep talking into it like it works.
I'm not. Oh, I'm going on strike.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I should probably talk towards this.
Yeah, I can like. Maybe, okay. What if this sounds really good and we can lose the microphones? Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, I find that highly doubtful. All right, here we go. What if it is recording on the microphones though?
Okay.
You guys, this is going to be great. This is going to be great for you guys to listen to.
And
we're just getting into the good part. So, but here, I'll move this closer just in case.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And if this sound quality sucks, just
skip it.
Sorry. All right. So sister's pregnant. Dad's selling harder drugs. Dad's getting in with a bad crowd because he needs to sell more. Woo, woo, woo. So, Mark Edwards, who was giving the sister the PCP wet cigarettes, he is really pissed because he sees how much money Larry Sr. is making in his drug dealings. Mm-hmm. So he actually holds him up at gunpoint and makes him give him $600.
What a piece of shit.
Right. So he steals $600. And again, LJ, the son, and the survivor of this story was like, he didn't know what was going on, but he knew he heard his dad one time, like yelling at someone on the phone that he needs to give the money back. Mm-hmm. And he didn't know what it was about. Anywho, so one morning, a couple days after that phone call where Larry Sr. was yelling at someone about giving the money back.
Okay.
It's 5 a.m. and there's a knocking at the door. I assume it's not knocking. I'm going to assume it's like pounding.
Don't answer the door that early.
So the dad gets up and goes to the door first, opens the door, and LJ is like right behind him. And all of a sudden the door opens. There are 2 gunshots.
Ugh.
Pop, pop. And Larry Sr. falls to the ground.
Oh no.
And it's Mark Edwards, who had stolen the $600, had been getting the sister high with his wet. I can't stop saying it. And then he's about 2 feet away from LJ. He turns, he points the gun at his head.
Oh my God.
LJ puts his hand up to block because that's what you do.
Natural reaction, yeah.
And Mark Edwards shoots the gun from 2 feet away.
Ooh.
It goes through LJ's hand and into his head. Oh. He said he just felt like something flew through his head. And I'm like, well, yes, a bullet did. And he fell backwards onto the couch.
Well,
okay. So then Mark Edwards walks through the house and he hears Mark Edwards shoot his mother.
Oh my God.
Then shoot his sister, who is at the point 28 weeks pregnant with, I'm assuming, Mark Edwards' baby because I think they were fucking.
Well, she's also on wet.
And so true.
Maybe there's other people involved. I don't know.
We don't know. So,
what a monster.
Yeah. And poor LJ is still alive and he can hear his family members moaning. So he'd hear like his dad and then he'd hear like his sister. And for some reason, Mark Edwards came back because I think LJ was the only one who tried to get up after being shot in the head.
He shot him again?
No, but he was shot in the head. He still tried to get up. And Mark Edwards came and pulled him up from behind and slashed his throat 3 times.
No.
Yes, so true.
How could you do that to another human being?
I just don't know. So LJ said it felt like the knife was going through a zipper. He said it made that like,
oh God,
like feeling of a zipper. So I'm wondering if it was serrated, which makes me want to throw up.
Yeah.
And then he fell to the ground and Mark Edwards kicked him multiple times. And once he started kicking him, he decided, I'm not going to try and get up because every time I try and fight any of this, he just attacks me again. So he lays there. He actually passes out, probably because he just got sliced in the neck, shot in the head, and kicked a bunch of times. Passes out. When he wakes up, the entire house is on fire.
Holy Andy set the house on fire?
Yeah, he's a dick. He's a terrible person.
Couldn't he just have asked to get in on the drug biz?
Yeah.
Like, just ask.
I don't know. So he then crawls to the door. So LJ crawls to the door. And of course, this dickwad locked the door. So he has to like crawl up and unlock it. Thankfully, though, there was a Corporal Stevens whose son went to school with LJ and was on a paper route at 6:30 in the morning. And he was riding past the house and saw it on fire.
Wow.
And called his dad, who was a corporal, like a very high ranking police officer. And so they come and they find LJ crawling out of the house. And Corporal Stevens tried to run into the house to try and save the other family members, but it was too late. So it turns out that LJ was the only survivor of the attack. They helicoptered him, choppered him, flew him in a helicopter to a hospital where they went in to do surgery to remove the bullet from his brain because it was still lodged. But when they got in there, it was too close to his spinal cord. So he still lives with the bullet in his head to this day. He went into protective custody for a while because they hadn't caught Mark Edwards.
This guy is not smart.
Like, but they did. They caught him. They caught him 4 days. They caught him 4 days later. And when they caught him 4 days later, the good news was, he was still in protective custody because Mark Edwards probably had other like drug related relationships and could go after this kid so that Mark wouldn't get prosecuted, but whatever. So he's in protective custody. He changed his name to RJ. Great guys. And really cute. He was going to church in his protective custody program. And there were some kids that were his age there and they invited him to come play video games with them. So again, he was like 12, 13 when this was happening. So he went over and he played video games and the family fell in love with him and thought he was a great kid.
Did they adopt him?
And they adopted him. So he ended up living with these adorable people. Hold on, I wrote their name down. Can I find it in my notes? Boop-a-doo. Of course not.
I love when a story ends in a great adoption
story.
They
are. Christy and Mark Altrage. Not sure if I'm saying that right. But before he went to live with them, he was visited by Corporal Stevens and he told Corporal Stevens that he wanted to live with him.
Oh, I just got goosebumps.
And, the corporal was very touched. And this investigation discovery show was the first time they had seen each other in about 10 years.
I think I've seen this story.
Yeah. And so now,
back to me now
LJ's like a teenager, like 19-ish. And, and the corporal's kind of like, I felt so terrible that I couldn't take him in, but he was a single dad. The corporal was a single dad.
Couldn't he take him in?
So he was a single dad. He was working full time as, in the police department. Mm-hmm. He was just super busy and he wouldn't have had a good home for him to, especially because he was dealing with so much. So he needed a family that was going to help him through the trauma that he had just endured. Yes. So Mark Edwards, the perpetrator, was convicted and sentenced to death. And when his death sentence was coming to fruition, LJ actually reached out and said that he didn't want Mark Edwards to be put to death
He's a much better person than I am, but.
And he said he knew that Mark Edwards had a son, and he didn't want another child to grow up without their father like he did. And
That
so
is the saddest
he
thing.
told Mark Edwards that he forgave him and that he didn't want him to be put to death. And so in the end, there was a trial, and Mark Edwards was had some sort of mental
disability.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's that fluffy ass cat.
He's so pretty, isn't he?
I don't think it's the white one though. It's a different one.
Oh.
It was cute. Okay.
I see him. Yeah, that's the same one. Look,
is
he's
it?
fluffing across the yard.
There's a really fluffy cat. You guys.
He's so cute. You should see him,
but
you won't.
One day we'll show him to you.
If you're lucky. Around.
So his sentence got commuted to 4 life sentences. So he's never getting out.
Right.
But he won't be put to death.
And sometimes that's a worse punishment though. Like sometimes people want to die versus serving the rest of their life in jail.
I think it kind of depends on how you're perceived in jail. I think a lot of like child molesters and stuff, it's torture to be in jail.
It's better
because
to just die.
The jail yard justice is like gonna get you. Sorry about that, guys.
Rhythm's gonna get you.
Rhythm is gonna get you. Rhythm is gonna get you. Rhythm is gonna get you. Roof.
Or woof, roof.
I don't know what they say in that part.
I don't either.
Now you guys know what it looks like when we sing and start dancing, and Kenny's not here to roll his eyes at us and be like,
or
Jesus
take his
Christ.
headphones off.
Yeah, he doesn't want to hear that shit.
Oh.
So anyway, so he got adopted, then he got to see the corporal again, and he is now a successful adult. He has a little doggy, a little puppy that he loves. He said it's the love of his life.
Oh.
And he loves to go hiking and go on road trips with the dog. And he is the manager of a restaurant, and he takes his job very seriously. He was like, I'm in charge of a bunch of people. And it's just like the cutest thing because he's still so young and so much life ahead of him.
And he took a really bad situation and made a life for himself. And and he's not a victim.
His adoptive parents just seemed so helpful. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just were supportive and like helped him through this and all the stuff that he definitely needed. Because that, again, he could have ended up in the system and with a family that didn't play to his needs. And that's not what happened. So that is a story of LJ.
Great story.
Thank you. I hope you guys could hear it. Again, I'm sorry that the audio on this is going to suck ass. Kenny can kill me later. He told me that before we did this and I just didn't pay attention.
Maybe it's working though.
Probably not, but that's cool. I mean, everything's plugged in.
It looks like it's working.
Great.
That's all that matters.
Well, I was going to do weird news, but since we're not sure if the sound is working on this thing,
save it.
We're just going to like wrap it up and send this to Kenny and he can yell at us. So thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my God. We're still recording on the Zoom, on the YouTube part, but the fuck is wrong with me?
It's okay. It's your first, we've never done it without Kenny before.
Kenny. Okay, I gotta turn off the. Hold on. Oh God. What? Turn off this Zoom.
Callie's dying to come in here. So
okay.
Come here, Bobo. Wait, yeah, I know. You want to be a baby in a corner.
Oh, baby in the corner.